Alright guys, so today we're going to talk about exercises that can mimic explosiveness or kind of the movements through shot put or any of the throws really. I'm going to start with shot put, and we're going to start with, since I'm down here already, push-ups. So for anybody right now trying to work through technique who doesn't have access to weights, the short answer that I have for you in terms of how to create explosiveness is prolonged tension. So putting your muscles under tension and essentially exploding out of them. So just for the sake of being able to talk through this, I'm going to do a kneeling push-up, but if you feel strong enough or if you're not talking, you can do normal. But what I mean by prolonged tension is taking your time on the way down, putting all that tension on the muscle, getting out of it as quickly as you can. So, on technical definition, loading the muscle, pushing out of it as strongly and as quickly as you can. Okay, so that's a great one that you guys can do for push-ups. Legs, in terms of, I'll talk about glide, shot put. One of the exercises that I like that mimics the movement is a reverse lunge, no matter if you're right or left-handed. Excellent exercise just to mimic that pushback. So if you're having issues with power in your legs, that push, this motion is very similar to that of the entry and shot put. Always do both sides. So I'm just emphasizing your step. So here I am loaded and push. Another one would be kind of a tensioned squat. So just get in your squat, take your time coming down, loading up those muscles, whatever depth is comfortable. Come out of it, get out of it as quickly as you can. Come down here, if you're feeling frisky, stay here 5-10 seconds, come out of it. Come out of it with a pretty decent amount of force, so you get used to that kind of explosive, that quick feeling. Take your time getting down here, come out of it. You can jump if you'd like, just kind of add that explosive idea towards it. If you're fortunate enough to have a band, you could do kind of a punch motion. This is also great for push-ups if you have one. Really push out that force, really forces you to push pretty hard. So that's an option. But the short answer for how can I work on explosiveness right now, especially when we don't have access to equipment, is put that tension on your muscles, hold it there 5-10 seconds, and come out of it as quickly as you can. If you have a sibling or a parent that can help you, and maybe you have a backpack, if you're lucky enough to have a medicine ball, you can do a chest press. Trying to be, if you trust yourself, of course. So, kind of mimicking the shot release, your elbows are out to the sides, they're not down next to your ribs, out to the sides, so you get that sideways flick of the wrist. Again, if you trust yourself, if you don't, you can also, with a partner, the partner drops, they're going to drop it to you, you're going to catch and send it right back up. So this is great. Again, if you don't have a medicine ball, it doesn't have to be medicine ball, and you don't have to let go of it. So if we're just here, trying to be, feels a little different, of course, but trying to be as forceful as possible with our movements, just to maintain those neural pathways, kind of that mind, that muscle memory that we have from throwing so much. But be creative. If you've got a tennis ball or a softball and you need to work on arm speed, those are great because obviously they're a little bit lighter, and that's okay. Speed would be an excellent thing to work on right now in terms of implement weight. You know, lighter typically means faster, or typically translates into being a little bit faster. So that's a great idea, but anything that you can apply tension to would be a great way to maintain kind of that explosive mindset, and kind of walk through your positions in the circle. Okay, what can I do here? You know, if I'm in my power position, what's effective for me to do there? Explosive core work, rotational work, you know, thinking of household items that we have every day that you can use. You know, not just in shot put, of course, but in discus too. You know, what can I do to maintain quick feet or nice tight wrap in the middle? You know, break it down section by section, and you can still have some pretty effective workouts. So add that tension to your push-ups, your squats, and you can maintain your explosiveness. And if you're lucky enough to be able to go throw, you know, then that'll translate. That can translate into just maintaining, possibly increasing distance right now. So give those a try. Push-ups, just in terms of upper body strength, are excellent. You're not just hitting the chest, you're of course working your triceps. And it's all important that movement, that push, anything that mimics a push is going to be effective. Same thing with your legs. Loading up in a squat, loading up in a lunge, if you can, not just jump squats, jump lunges, things like that are great. So if I am, if I can stay here, or if I really take my time going up, come down for a couple seconds, load up, or you can even jump out of it. Stay loaded here. Anything just to maintain, or that is an explosive movement. So if you can, or if you have access to your strength coaches, you can ask them. The internet is an excellent tool. Just remember that what somebody does on there isn't going to look like what you're trying to do. So don't try to be exactly like that, but those are all great places to start. And if you've got enough exercise knowledge that you can kind of piece something together, piece it together. If you're looking for, you could do it with just body weight. You could pretty much do multiple muscle groups. You're not going to burn yourself out if you do that 2, 3, 4 times a week. You could do push-ups, squats, lunges, reverse lunges, jump squats, those explosive push-ups. So hold on one second. Again, just to be able to keep talking to you guys, I'll be doing these on my knees, but if you have a pillow or you do these in your house, this is concrete, so that would hurt. But if you kind of load up, bring those hands off the ground. Or you can even do a normal push-up and try to push off the ground. My knees are sliding a little bit, but the goal, trying to get off the ground, has to be fast. We talk about in releasing shot put, it cannot be slow. You cannot punch slow. It has to be quick. It has to be quick. So that trying to get off the ground, you can't try to get off the ground in a push-up by pushing slowly. It's not, you just don't have that force and that speed to get that little bit of distance off the ground. So piece all that together, find what works for you, make sure that's important, find what works for you, and give it a try. Maintain those kind of movements, incorporate them into what you're doing, and you'll probably see some translations in your throw. So if you guys have any questions, leave a comment or anything like that, and